Hello everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for coming. I'm Albine Mnizerineza. I'm together with.
Noeline Ahimana.
And Amen Wasa.
Okay, we are going to work on our group project called Guess Who is Coming to Dinner, and everyone has been searching for different events, food-related events. So I'm going to start. I worked on two, and I did a research about a third one. So the first I did is called tailgating. Tailgating is an event originated from United States. So it takes place at tailgates of vehicles, and people bring food such as fruits, grilled food like meat, and alcoholic drinks. So the purpose of that event is to have fun before an event like a football match starts. So people bring that food, and they have fun before the match. They increase friendship among themselves, and they have like flags of their preferred teams. So when the players see that their fans are there, they are eating, they are happy, they are singing, they are drinking, so they are motivated about succeeding in the match which is going to take place later. So that is all about tailgating. Any question?
Yeah, the question I have is, could you please tell us more about the type of food there includes?
Yeah, the type of food used there is the food which is easy to prepare and easy to carry, because they come from their homes with some food which is easy to carry, like fruits, and the food which is easy to prepare are grilled food, like they can take meat and grill it on the there on around the tailgate of their vehicles, and they prefer using alcoholic drinks, like to feel like more motivated. As you know, alcohol excites people, so that is the kind of food they use. Yeah, in that event. The second event is called Tringit. Tringit is a kind of gift-giving feast which is used to take place in Northwest America, such as Canada, and that feast it has the purpose of giving the host the chance to show his richness, if I can say. So the host invite guests, and they come on some days, such as the birth of a baby or the marriage of one of his children, and he prepares a lot of food, as much as possible, because a good host is the one to prepare the food that they cannot eat all, and people eat, and they have a kind of competition in eating, and there are some stories about people who had physical disabilities due to overeating, and after eating they give gifts. Also, the event of giving gifts is a kind of competition, because everyone is willing to give a gift which is more expensive, to show that he is the one to be rich than others, to be richer than others. So they give gifts such as jewelries and clothes, and also when the feast is ended, the food which is remaining, they used to take it to the people who did not come, as a sign of showing like the kindness of the host. And that is also the Tringit event. Clear?
That's clear.
No, I have a question.
Okay.
Is there any type of food they prepare within that evening always?
Yeah, there is a specific type of food prepared, but in general they mostly use meat and some drinks, and according to one's preference. Yeah, they don't have any a fixed kind of food, but they consider preferences, because they prepare much food that the guest cannot consume all. Yeah. And after reading about it, those are cultures of other countries. I came in our culture, which is Rwandan culture, and I found out one event which is called Ubunyano, and that event is related to giving a name to the newborn. The way they do it, they invite people, especially children, and it is done during the sunset. They send children in the field to cultivate, even though they don't know, as a sign, and after some minutes they send one person with water to throw to them, some drops as a sign of rain, and the children come back. After arriving home, they give them food. The food mainly used, it has been used in like ancient Rwanda. It was sorghum cake, milk as a drink, and beans, and also some vegetables such as isogi in Kinyarwanda. So the reason behind those food was because all those grains and milk and vegetables were a sign of royal food. Like a king could not lack those food. So they prepared them to the children to wish to the newborn to have a brighter future such as the one of a king. So after eating and drinking milk, everyone gave a name to the newborn. But the conclusion was for the parents. The parents used to give the name, the final name as a conclusion to the newborn, and the event ended like that. Thank you very much. Any question? No. So we can go with Noedin to tell us the second.
Thank you. For me, I had two menus. The first one is the menu they use in Hindu weddings. So as we understand, in wedding it's a celebration, people eat, there is like some food and some drinks. But then for Hindu, they have three things that they use which are food, but they don't eat them or drink them, but they use them because they have a symbolic, they have a significance, an important significance to them. The first one is coconut fruit. So the way it happens in Hindu wedding, the bride cuts into pieces the coconut fruit, and she passes to the bridegroom. They believe that coconut fruit is kind of a blessing and it can bring prosperity in the new home. So they bring to each other as a couple so as to say that, like, to wish that in their home there will be prosperity, there will be richness, there will be food, drinks, and all of that. And yeah. So the second food is rice. The way they use it is like all guests bring rice and they throw it to the married couple, they throw it to the bride and to the bridegroom. After that, the bride and the bridegroom play a game. They throw to each other rice, and then they see who thrown a lot of rice to the other. Mm-hmm. The one who thrown a lot of rice to the other means that will be the one to dominate in the new family. So the whole thing of using rice is like throwing to each other blessing and seeing the person who will be dominating the new family. So the third thing is cumin seed and brown sugar. So they use it as in, they want to show the difference between, they use it as two different things, you know, that brown, like sugar is sweet and cumin seed is not sweet, it's bitter, it has the flavor of pepper. So they use it to show that in life there is also bitterness and sweetness, and they want to show to the married couple that in the life they are going to start, there will be some hard times and good times, but they have to handle all of them. So they bring them on the table, and the married couple see that, yeah, as a symbol. So that's the menu for Hindu weddings. Do you have a question?
But I did not understand the third one. I understood rice and sugar and that one, but the third one I did not understand it.
Oh, so it's just a comparison between brown sugar and cumin seed. Okay. So it's a type of seed which is bitter. So they use it to illustrate that in life also, the new life that a couple is about to begin also will be some difficult things or bitter things.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah. So the second menu is about Pennsylvania Dutch. So there is a lot of debate going on about which is the real menu of Pennsylvania. So there is a lot of common food in Pennsylvania, such as fried apples, but there is also the common one is hopi pie. Yeah, hopi pie is also the one to bring a lot of debate, because people from Massachusetts say that hopi pie originates from there. People from England, people from Maine, and from Pennsylvania. So at this time there isn't a sure origin of hopi pies, but one of the things that is sure is that Pennsylvania is one of the areas you can find many hopi pies till now. So hopi pie is kind of a cookie and also a cake, but it has a cultural and historical significance to Pennsylvania people, because back then when they were still poor, they couldn't afford to buy meat and other expensive food. So moms, women in general, used to use cheap ingredients such as flour, they use in making cake, and other cheap ingredients to make cake. So they made that hopi pie as an expensive food because they couldn't afford, as a cheap food because they couldn't afford meat and all of that. So still now Pennsylvania value hopi pie because they remind them of that time when they were still poor, and it still shows that habit of not wasting any ingredient and using the few things you have.
Okay.
Yeah. So after reading about the two menu, Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine and the Hindu weddings, I made a field research in my country, which is Rwanda. So one of the events that involve food and eating is the event called Umuganura. Umuganura is a Kinyarwanda name which literally means Thanksgiving. So that day usually happens in the harvest period, when they are harvesting from agriculture. So most of the time it happens on the 1st of August. So the way it happens, all the people in village come together, they will bring different food, they share those food, they sing, they dance, and they talk about poems and listen to poems. So actually, you understand the meaning of Thanksgiving. It's all about Rwandan have that day as a way of appreciating what they achieved, like the way they invested their time and their energy in working, cultivating mainly, and the way that they harvested. So that day is more of celebration and enjoying their harvest. So you can ask yourself if it still happens. Yes, it's a history thing, but it also happens nowadays. But nowadays it have a new meaning, which is also celebrating all areas, all sectors of the country, not only agricultural harvest, but also the development of ICT, development of education, and all of that. And about Umuganura, there is no specific people who celebrate that. It's the whole country. It happened among villagers. People in the same village celebrate that together. So Umuganura is an event that shows that they are hardworking and they enjoy, they appreciate their achievements, and they are kind.
Thank you. Is there any specific food used during that event?
Oh, the specific food is actually natural things that are found in Rwanda, such as sorghum, maize. Yeah.
The floor is Alan's.
Okay, thank you so much. I also worked on two different meals from two different cultures, and also made a field research on my culture, that is Rwandan culture. So the first meal I worked on was the Japanese rice. So this is a type of meal which is very important to the culture of Japan. So it is said that the Japanese take rice as their breakfast, their lunch, and their dinner. So this shows that it's something important in their culture. And so they say that there's a name they gave the cooked rice and meal. So they use their Japanese language, which is gohan. So this word means the cooked rice or any other meal which is cooked. And so the aspects of Japanese social behavior, like the harmony, it is said that it originates from from the wet rice cultivation. So due to the cultivation of rice, they originate this, the harmony, their social aspects, like how they do things, their actions, and all of that. So, due to cultivating the rice, Japan was given an indigenous name in the early years, which was it's kind of hard to read.
Yeah.
It's Mizuho no Kuni, and it's kind of funny. But this word meant the land of water, stock, plant, or rice. It means that this country had cultivated a lot of rice. So they also say that Japanese rice is linked to different aspects in the Japanese culture. So there's somewhere they say that the emperor became when the emperor became the priest king early in the Japanese history. They say that many of his priestly functions were in the Shinto religion. They say that it revolved around rice growing, which included the rice products like rice cakes, the rice wine and stuff. So it shows that rice was something very important to the Japanese, to the extent that they called it the incense of culture. So it meant that it was something very, very important to the culture of Japan. So I think that's all about the Japanese rice. If there's any question, I'll answer them.
Is there any event which takes place in Japan and they consume like rice only, or what is the kind of event that show that in Japan rice is very important?
So they say that in every event, like the very important events, like their weddings, their, like for example the birthday parties, most of the times they eat rice. Even though they can prepare other meals, they have to include rice. It means that rice cannot miss in their meal. So if there's no other question, I think I'll move on. And the other meal I worked on is the Hawaiian poi. So they say that poi is a starchy food from Hawaii. So this is also an important meal for the Hawaiian people, also in their culture. So they say that only 1,000 people in the whole world, those people of pure Hawaiian, the pure Hawaiians, they say that they are the only people who are now present in the world. It means that the number is decreasing. Okay. So if the number is decreasing, it means that also the culture is fading away. So due to that reason, the residents of the island are now cooking the Hawaiian poi in order to prevent the culture from fading, I mean to keep the culture from fading. So they say that poi is a type of meal that is chewy with slightly sweet flavor. It means it's chewy, like you chew it in order to eat it. So they say that this kind of meal is made from a taro root. It's a type of a root called taro in Hawaii. So in the culture, in the Hawaiian culture, it is said that poi held, this kind of food called poi, it held spiritual significance to the island's aboriginals and sustained the first people to land on Hawaiian shores, the shores of the island. So it means it's something very important because people survive because of this kind of meal. They had this meal to eat. So the process of making this food is called poi and kui. It's also hard to pronounce the word, but then it means that this kind of method of preparing this meal it means that they use their bare hands. So if a person has, for example, a wound on the hands, it means this person cannot prepare this meal. So it is also said that for ladies, in order to make this meal, they have to tie their hair and try to remove the nail polish, like these ones.
Yeah.
So they have to remove them because you use your your hands, and if you don't remove them, you can, you know, make it dirty. So they say that it's kind of hard to make because it requires a lot of energy because you have to spread and stuff like that. So they say that this kind of meal, especially the taro root, which is used to make the meal, is very important to the culture because most of the times this is a kind of meal which brings together the family, the relatives. Because, for example, if someone say that I'm going to prepare the poi and using the taro root, the family had to gather, you know, the dad, the mom, the children, the relatives, aunts, then they gather and eat the meal. So this was to show that it was a kind of meal which brought together the family members together. So I think that's enough. Any questions? Great. So lastly, I made a field research about my culture, which is Rwandan culture. I asked one of the old people about the event which is commonly like performed in the culture of Rwanda, and he told me it's an event called Gusawa. So this is an event whereby the family, it's more about the wedding. So the family of the boy comes and gives the bride price to the family of the girl. So the whole process is the parents of the boy come at home to the parents of the girl. They decide on the bride price, they discuss, try to negotiate, then they come to the end and decide which bride price they have to give. So in the ancient Rwanda, he told me that they used to give cows as the bride price. So they could give at least like 5 cows, 12 cows, it depended on what they have negotiated. So they could give the cows, then the family of the boy then is allowed to take the girl. So I asked him why this event is practiced in the culture of Rwanda, and he told me that it shows respect, like it's giving respect to the girl and trying to thank the parents for training the girl and making her as the best as she is. So I asked that person if the event or that event is still being practiced in the today's generation, and he told me that it is practiced, but not exactly as the one which was practiced in the ancient Rwanda. So I asked him what was the differences. He told me that for every family they cannot give out their daughter without receiving the bride price. So for the bride prices, he told me that they changed a little bit, because for the ancient Rwanda they could give cows, but for now they pay money for the bride price, like 2 millions, 3 millions, it depends on what they have agreed on. So the other thing is, he told me that in the ancient Rwanda, girls could not have the chance to select their husbands. They didn't even love each other, because the girl could see the husband at the wedding. So, but for now, the girl is given a chance to find a husband for herself, and then the husband comes at home, then they negotiate with the parents, and finally they give the girl out. So I think that's all.
Is there any kind of food they eat during the event, or they don't eat?
No, they eat, but there is no specific meal they take, because they take different meals, like the things which grow in Rwanda, like cassava, potatoes. They are different meals. There is no specific meal for the day.
Okay, thank you all. And as you have seen, all those cultures have many differences and some similarities, like increasing friendship and having fun. So thank you all of you, and I hope